All right, good morning. Happy Saturday. Oh, I was thinking about some places I wanted to film, and I remembered a place that we used to live up here in Norcross. So I figured I'd film this little drive up first. I don't know if anybody lives there or not. I was hoping it was vacant so I could walk around the property and talk a little bit. Tell stories about when I used to live there. Oh, you can't cut through anymore. They put a curb. Oh, I thought you used to cut right through there. Maybe not. All right, haul ass. Hey, here it is, Woodland Road. I don't see any cars. Well, the big tree that the albino squirrel used to live in is gone. There used to be a big tree right here. That was my bedroom on the far left. The reason why I'm coming here today is it's just kind of a regular looking house from the outside. Wouldn't think anything about it, but I believe there's a little ghost running around in that house. We had experience when we all lived here. My camera's been doing its automatic focus thing again. Once again, I'll start over. This is a house I used to live at. What year was that? Before I went to Orlando, so maybe 84, 85, somewhere around there. Went to Orlando in 88, so we lived here with a group of guys, and everybody's got their different spiritual beliefs. People believe in God, people don't. People believe in this, that, and the other, different kind of religions and stuff. And one thing that I definitely believe in here is some kind of spiritual something was going on when we lived in this house. And most people say, "Hey, crazy," but it's all about what you've seen and what you've lived through. The foundation over there, that wall's crackling all apart. This house is very unique. I've never seen one like it. It's actually underneath this house. They started out with a smaller house, then evidently they got money and they brought in this brick, and the new roof structure was basically put on top of the old house. I mean, it's crazy, man. It's if you go in the garage and climb up and look in the attic, you can see the old roof. It's underneath this new roof, and what it is was a small house here. Once again, the whole house has been re-bricked from the outside. The original house stopped right about here, and this part with the chimney is a trailer that they brought this trailer in and butted it up to the back of the old house, and then they just bricked around the whole thing. I mean, it's a trip. Unless you got up inside there, you would never know or realize. But once again, these two back bedrooms and the bathroom here are a trailer. It was just basically pushed up against the house, fastened, and then they redid the whole foundation. New back porch here, the whole 9 yards. You got the pool house back here is where I had a little gym set up there at one time. You know, I'm walking on this house. Oh, I'm just assuming nobody lives here because there's no cars. This room looks vacant. Here we go. Once again, this is strange and maybe hard to understand. I don't know how well I'm explaining it. But this is a trailer right inside here. It just happens to be surrounded with brick. Alright, to the ghost story. I'll start off with underneath the house, which I'm not going to go down there today. I hate to be a wimp, but last time I did, I went down there. I just don't feel like, really don't feel like messing with it today. But this is really spooky under here. Just if I remember correctly, you kind of go in. I think you step down right away. I don't have my flashlight. Yeah, so you go in, and then you got another step down in that area there. We always felt like there was something funky about that room. I don't know why. But one thing remember for sure when we lived here, we used to, there was lights up underneath there, and we'd turn them off before we left. When we come home, and the lights would always be on because these little vents around the side of the house, when the lights are on underneath, the light shines out of there. Remember that happening a couple times. We kind of thought, no big deal. Maybe somebody thought they turned them off and didn't. It's taken a while with my narration, but please bear with me. The only thing that I can kind of verify in terms of a ghost story deal is we were sitting in this back room one night. Once again, I'll say this another 30 times, it's a trailer. When you get in this back room and start walking around, you can tell it's a trailer right away. The door I hope you can see, the door inside there, that used to be a sliding glass door that was from the original kitchen. And it opened back into here, this room with the fireplace. When it was an original house, that sliding glass door would open up in some kind of deck like this. We were all hanging out in the back room one night watching a movie, and I don't know, one of us heard it, a couple people heard it. Somebody said, man, turn the volume down for a second, I keep hearing this noise. Well, it was a noise kind of like, sounded like somebody running. And the weird thing about it, in the front room there was a really, really thick carpet with padding. In the kitchen there was linoleum. The sound would go from a thump, 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 which would be the sound of the person or kid or whatever running around on the carpet, and then you'd hear it tap, 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 tap as they went to the kitchen. They were doing a circle. They were doing a circle from the front room, carpeted, through the kitchen, tap, 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 thump, 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 tap, 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 tap. And it was the craziest thing. I mean, if it was several people, there was no question in any of our minds about what we heard. And the more we thought about it, it sounded like the weight and the sound, it sounded like a small person. So I don't know if it was a child that used to live here that died. I just think it's very intriguing. But that's the only experience that I think I've ever had with any kind of spirits or spiritual stuff. Once again, this is where I had my gym. This room it had a bathroom to the right. There's still a toilet. Stairs were carpeted up. It went upstairs, and upstairs above this was a loft, and it was all raw. But I basically had one weight machine back here. But this is the old pool. You can see where it's been filled in with concrete. When we lived here, it was a cesspool. It did have a diving board. I remember Doug Boger standing on the edge of the diving board messing around at one of the parties we had. Over here was a really cool outside grill. It was the same style as all the brick you see around here. I think it was, yeah, right over there. It was good size though. But in this area of Norcross, I know because my sister and my mother used to live over that direction a mile or two. There are albino squirrels. I don't know if you've ever seen them. If anybody's ever seen an albino squirrel. But it'll kind of catch you off guard when you see a bunch of gray squirrels running around in a circle. And all of a sudden you see an albino in the mix, and he looks like he's moving twice as fast as the other ones. Another little ghosty thing, this house was, it worked for a guy. He and his wife lived here, and they never said anything about the weird feelings they had in the house or anything like that until they got us to move in here, and they moved out. But in this garage here, if I remember correctly, I don't think I'll be touching that wire anytime soon. Shit. This garage, oh wow, it's all been built out now. But this was set up for cars to be pulled in when we lived here. But once again, this was a garage. The original house didn't have a garage. The original house stopped right about here, and the window straight along this wall that you would used to look out the yard while you were doing dishes, it looked into the garage. Well, I noticed a couple times when I was doing dishes there that just crazy thinking back on it. But I just noticed flashes. I just kind of just feel like somebody was watching me, or I don't know, something crazy. And it came to find out talking to my buddy's wife who lived here previously. She had the exact same experience. She'd always think that somebody was watching her when she was doing dishes. I don't know if you can tell from the substance on the ground, this was all pea gravel. It's most of it's washed away by now, but they had this pea gravel. The whole driveway used to be pea gravel. The sidewalk connecting the two houses, it was pea gravel all around the pool. I've got some footage somewhere. Last time I came here, it was much bolder than today, and the front door was either ajar or I don't know, but I walked in the house, I walked under the house, and there was clothing from some kind of Christian group, and it was like Warriors of Christ or something like that. And by the time I was just getting back in my car and I turned around and driving, I realized that they were still living here, and they were either in the process of moving in or moving out, because they came pulling up as I was driving away. And I thought, wow, man, I'm glad because that would have scared the shit out of me. You know what, that power, I hope that power's off, man. I just walked right by that, so I'm glad it, ooh, and I think that's just hanging down raw. Anyway, goodbye, Woodland Road. I don't know if there's a little ghost in there or not.